Brilliant. This last point I'd love to share with you, I need 7 people. As I stand up here, I'm watching you as much as you're watching me. So I've already picked the 7 people that I'd like. When I point to you, please stand. You don't need to come on stage. Just stay where you are, but stay standing. So the first person, the lovely white over here, number 1, thank you very much, number 1. Number 2, the gentleman just there, thank you, on the corner, yes, thank you. Number 2, number 3, the lady in the blue, yes, thank you, number 3. Number 4, the lady just there on the end, just before the gentleman there, thank you, yes, thank you, in the black and white as well, beautiful dress. Number 4, then number 5, the gentleman just there, thank you. 6, in the blue, thank you. And 7, where are you? Oh, where are you? Sorry, oh, the gentleman just there with the blue shirt, arms crossed, thank you. Good. Please give the 7 people a big round of applause. Thank you. The 7 of you now have an extremely important task. You need to think of a number between 1 and 45. The most common number to be picked between 1 and 45 is 37. So please do avoid that, otherwise it's quite boring. But you can pick it if you really want to. So if you could first number nice and loud so everybody can hear, what number would you like? 44. 44? In Chinese, that means die, die. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's fine. Thank you. 44. We'll stick with that. It's good. And there, please. 22. 20. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. You're coming up with these numbers obviously on your own. Please come up with them on the spot. If you feel the need to change it before you tell me, please do it. What would you like? 8. Thank you. Very lucky number. Thank you. Appreciate that. 8. Good. Your choice as well. No one forcing you. The gentleman there. 27. Would you like to change your mind? Oh, of course not. Okay, thank you. But when we don't change our mind in society, some people can look at us and go, oh, that guy's quite stubborn. So you stick? Oh, you'll stick. Okay, no, that's fine, that's fine. Just look, don't worry. Just understand we're fully judging you at this point. What would you like? 20. He went for 27, you went for 26. Some people might look at that and go, oh, she's being a bit of a follower. So you can stick with that, or you can do something that nobody's done, which is truly innovative, and change your mind. 11? Thank you very much for that. Good, 11, good, thank you. Good, thank you, perfect. And what would you like there, sir? 40? 14, good choice, thank you, 14. And lucky last? Number 5. Stick? Good, thank you. Please give a big round of applause. It'll make sense in about 10 minutes. Have a seat. The last thing I want to share with you is something I keep very close to my heart. I need somebody in the room who's very good with long words. So please, there must be one person who's very good with long words. Please do raise your hands if you're very good with long words. Please, absolutely honest, I need somebody to help me. Or please feel free to point to somebody who's very good with long words. Do you mind giving me a hand with this? Please give him a big round of applause as he joins me on stage. Thank you so much for this. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nick. Lovely to meet you. Oh, careful. Oh, I've got you. Okay. I'm a ninja part-time. So Nick, I've got 3 books, 3 classic books. Stephen King, The Shining, obviously. Great book. Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown. And another classic, Harry Potter. Yes, classic of all classics. So I would like you to make a choice. Which book would you like to use, Nick? Up to you. Harry Potter. Good choice. Thank you. Very cultured man. So you see, what I need you to do now, Nick, is something very specific, so listen to my instructions very carefully. In a moment, Nick, I'm going to ask you to open that book, not yet, but in a moment to a completely random page. Please don't go to your favorite chapter, obviously. Just go to a random page. Open the book immediately and just random. Random is very key. So do that now, Nick. Random page, and lift the book up towards yourself. Make sure no one can see. Good. So, Nick, you see 2 pages there. I need you to look for a nice, long, interesting word. Please don't go for and, then, he or she, or the names of the characters. I do know them off by heart. So just don't go for the first long word you see. Change your mind as many times as you like, and look at the many long words there, and just stick with one. Don't say it out loud. Just keep it in your head. And once you have one, and you stick with it, close the book. And please say the word to yourself a few times just in your head, and put the book down. And please say the word to yourself continually in your head as I talk to the audience. In 1907, a magician performed this in the UK. And he made the world believe that psychic powers were real. See, I'm a magician. I'm the biggest skeptic you'll probably ever meet. And I don't believe that. But I I wanted to perform what he performed. How could he make the world believe that? I thought it was crazy. So this is what he did. Nick, if you could join me here. Just stand just here, Nick, if you don't mind. And Nick, you have the word in your head, just the word. I want you to think of the first letter, Nick, just the first letter. Don't say it, just think of it. I want you to pretend you do have psychic powers. Yeah, thank you. So just pretend you do, let's just imagine. And I want you to hold one hand up like this. And in a moment, I'm going to get you to send the first letter to everybody here in the audience. So just kind of look at everyone and just maybe use both hands. It's better for reception, obviously. Yep. And just begin over there, Nick, if you don't mind, and just kind of scan through the audience members. Just guess a letter as we look at this. Just guess a letter. All the way through, Nick. All the way to this side as well. All the way to this side. All the way. Yes. Good. Thank you. Perfect. Now, please just guess a letter. Just guess one in your head. In a moment when Nick names that letter, just the first letter, nice and loud, if you got it right, please do stand so we can count you. In a room with 2,000 people, statistically speaking, at least 50 of you should get this correct. At least. So hold the mic. So in a very loud voice, first letter. What was it?
T.
T. Who thought of T? Stand. T. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Right, slightly below average room. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll try this with me then, Nick. We'll try this with me. So face me. Turn and face me. Okay, good. And stay right there. Please think of the second letter. And again, I know this is going to sound weird, but let's just go with it. Look into my palm and lock your gaze here. Good. Nick, I want you to pretend you can see the second letter in my palm. Make sure it's in lower caps, not upper caps. Sorry. Just, okay. There's a difference. Thank you for that. Okay. Don't give too much away. So you can see the second letter there. As I walk closer to you, you can see it getting bigger and bolder and clearer. You see it go, thank you. It's, it's open. It's an N. No, it's an H. Thank you for that. Don't tell me. Poker face. Now the next part, not allowed to use your fingers. You have to think to yourself, how many syllables are in this word? And just say yes when you know. Don't use your fingers. Just say yes out loud. Yeah. Good. Takes 1 second per syllable. Took you 4 seconds or so. I'd say it's either 3, 4, or 5 syllables. If you had to name a number 3, 4, or 5, not necessarily the number of syllables, just name a number 3, 4, or 5. Name one.
3.
3. Good. You just gave me the number of syllables. Thank you for that. There's 3 syllables. Thank you. Thank you. Your wife can read you like a book. This is great. So Nick, think about this. You're a very honest man, so thank you, Nick. The last thing I'm going to ask you to do is, can you balance with your eyes closed? Okay, good. So I'll hold your shoulder. So in a moment, no, you don't have to lift the leg. That makes it much harder. You can keep your leg down. I'm going to squeeze your shoulder in a moment, and when I do, I need you to say the word in your head without moving your lips over and over and over again, just in your head, starting now. Just do that, Nicholas. You do that. Yep, keep going. Every single syllable nice and clear. Keep going. And as you're doing this, you can listen to me now and just keep doing it. And I want you to keep going in your head just to say the word loud, just in your head, louder and louder, to the point where, keep going, louder, to the point where you're saying every syllable feels like you're screaming it at me. Thank you. Good. Thank you very much. Was that weird? Yes, thank you. Just close your eyes just for a second as I show the audience. It has to be this. You can see this, obviously. It has to be this. If I get this wrong, it's obviously Nick's fault. So here's the thing. Nick, into the mic, in a very loud voice. You could have chosen any words you wanted. Open your eyes. Any long words you wanted. Wasn't the first one you went for, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Good. Brilliant. So could you loud into the mic? What was the word? Yes, nice and loud.
Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, of course it was. Big round of applause. It was. Thank you so much, Nick. You're amazing. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Brilliant. Good. Thank you. Big round of applause. Big round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nick. Pleasure. In 2012, I wanted to perform this more than anything in my life, and I remember taking a newspaper extract. There were 4 sentences, took it to all my magic buddies, and I said, guys, this is the best thing ever. We have to do this. We have to. And they looked at me and they said, Vinh, average book has 100,000 words, man. That's impossible. Dude, you're an idiot. Obviously removed them from my top 5. We have this sick need to be right, me and my friends. So I saw that as a perfect opportunity to drill him about intelligence. So I said, you're wrong, obviously. Impossible implies 0 out of 100,000. 1 out of 100,000, technically speaking, means highly improbable. You're the idiot. And we're still friends, but I never like any of his posts. I don't care how cool what he's doing is, I never like it. From that conversation, I learned one of the most valuable lessons in my life. All those magicians, my magic buddies, who believed that this could not be done, they never tried. They never tried. Why try something if you believe it's impossible? Why try? I was foolish enough to believe that it could be done. I hope I stay foolish forever, for the rest of my life. Because I was foolish, I found a way. Because I was on the journey, I found a way. My friends, as a treat, I'd love to share with you how this is done. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because I know there will too come a time where you will embark on a journey that appears impossible. But when you do embark on that journey and it appears impossible, please think of me and this very moment. Because people always ask magicians, how do you create the impossible? How? Sometimes innovation can feel like it's impossible. How do you approach that? You see, I'll share with you. This is how you do it. The first step to creating something truly impossible is you must believe with your heart and soul that it can be done. You have to have absolute conviction, no doubt at all, not even an ounce. And when you really believe that it can be done, and you really believe this with intensity, you take the first step. Why? Because our beliefs dictate our actions in life. So you take the first step, you believe it can be done. Only when you take the first step, you can see the second step. You cannot see the second step from step 0, have to be on the journey, have to be on step 1. And then you see the second step. You can see it now. Did you hear what I said right at the beginning? Right at the beginning. What did I say? I said, open the book to a random page. Random, random, random. What does random mean? It has a double meaning. It means somewhere in the middle. Not in the first 25%, not in the last 25%, but somewhere in the middle. Double meaning. People don't think this. This action of going, it's in the middle. Take the second step. It's not 1 out of 100,000. It's 1 out of 50,000. It's much easier, of course. And you get stuck on this step. I kid you not, you get stuck on this step for a year, and it very quickly turns into a year and a half and then 2 years. And you think to yourself, why are you so crazy to stay on this journey? Why are you so crazy? It's because I believe in it. And when you believe in something, think about this for a second. When you believe in someone, and when you believe in something, do you ever give in? No, you don't. No matter how tough the journey gets, you continue the journey. You don't give in. And then you collaborate with somebody who isn't in your industry, who is a linguist, who has a different perspective and influences you in a different way, and they show you something that's been in front of you the entire time. The second thing I said was, pick a long word, not a short word. It's right there the entire time. What does that mean? A long word is a word that has more than 6 letters. Anything with less than 6 letters next to long words looks visually short. So out of the 50% that's left, what if I removed every single word in here that has less than 6 letters? I've removed 90% of the 50% that was there. It is not 1 out of 50,000. It is 1 out of 5,000. The next 2 steps will blow your mind. But I'm not going to share them. So, yeah. Sorry about that. How this trick is done is not important. It is not. The most important thing is that first step. Is that very first step. Far too often, you see, my friends, in our lives, we look at a challenge that is before us. Before we even inspect that challenge, we label it as being impossible. Before we even try and take that first step, we label it as being cannot be done, too hard, can't do it. As a magician, I understand a thing or two about illusions. And I can tell you now with absolute certainty that the biggest illusion you'll ever experience in your life is not a piece of magic that I perform for you. The biggest illusion you experience in your life isn't even from David Copperfield, and he's amazing. It isn't. The biggest illusion you ever experience is when you tell yourself something cannot be done. It is not real. You create that. I know what you're thinking. How does he have the audacity to stand up here and tell me that anything is possible in life? He's 29. I'll prove it. I promise I'll prove this to you. It was with an exercise that a mentor did with me that changed my mind about this. Do you mind all standing? I'd like to show you something. Please do stand. Please do stand. Thank you. And as you stand, please do face the partner for me. Face the partner. Have a good look at the partner. You can go in groups of threes if you like. Face the partner. Good. Thank you. And groups of threes if you need to. Groups of threes if you need to. And as you face your partners, have a good look at them. And then turn your back so you can no longer see them. Turn your back so you can no longer see them. See how good your memory is. Now here's the thing. This is your challenge for you, my friends. With your backs turned, I want you to change 33 things about the way you look. Go for it now. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I want you to change one thing about how you look. Just change one thing. Please change one thing. Don't let them hear it. Don't let them notice it. Please do it as discreetly as you can. Just, yes, good. Discreetly as you can. And 3, 2, 1. Face your partner. See, do you notice it? Do you notice the change? See if you can see it. Good. Good. I'm not going to give you too long. Turn your backs. Turn your backs. Turn your backs. I'm not going to give you too much time. Turn your backs. Now listen. With your backs turned, turn your backs again. Turn your backs again. With your backs turned, your next challenge, if your partner didn't notice what you changed, I want you to be a little bit more dramatic this time, but please don't keep clothes on. I want you to change one more thing, but please be a little bit more dramatic. I want them to notice this. Just one more thing. Perfect. Good. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Face your partners. Good. Very good. Very creative. Oh, I love that. That's hilarious. Good. Have a seat, everyone. Have a seat. Be seated. Have a seat. Have a seat. Have a seat. Very good. Have a seat. Have a seat, everyone. Thank you so much for that. Have a seat. Have a seat. Brilliant. You see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. My mentor in Australia, when he showed me this, when Matthew showed me this, he said, Vin, right, I've just proved to you anything can be achieved. I was like, what? What? This man's crazy. And he said to me, well, let me explain, and I'll explain to you as he explained to me. He said to me, Vin, right at the start, when I asked you and all your team to change 33 things about the way you look or your appearance, how are you feeling? And I said, well, Matthew, I felt like it was highly improbable. Yeah, not impossible, highly improbable. And he said to me, no, Vin, you're wrong. I mean, think about how you felt just now. I mean, I see people give in. I see people give up. The moment I said change 33, people think, no, it cannot be done, and people laugh, and then they kind of do this. No, it's a universal sign for giving up, I think. And you just thought it couldn't be done. There was a mental block. You didn't take the first step. You just didn't. You made an assumption. You assumed it was impossible or highly improbable. Then he said to me, Vin, when I asked you to change one thing about your appearance, how did you feel? I said, oh, well, it's easy. And I think all of you just didn't even think. There was no mental block. You just took the first step. You changed one thing. You even had fun. And you see, then I asked you to change one more thing. How did you feel? Yeah, I can do this. You don't think, we just do. You see, if I had the time and I wanted to bore you all to death, I could have stood up here and said, change one more thing, change one more thing, change one more thing, times 33. Every single one of you in this room, whether you initially believed it could be done or not, you would have changed 33 things about your appearance. My friends, challenges moving forward will always appear impossible, but it's not real. As long as you take things one step at a time, you never fall victim to a silo mentality. You always ensure you protect your environment, the top 5. You bring in the best and only the highest quality of people. And you ensure that you have strong beliefs, that you believe that it can be done. And where do our beliefs come from? This is where it becomes full circle now. Our beliefs come from the top 5 people we spend time with. That's where they come from. If you've got self-limiting beliefs, change the people you spend time with, and your beliefs change with them. So I'll leave you one last thing. To do or to say that anything is possible, one must therefore do the most impossible thing. Something in this box here, actually. There was a lady who joined me on stage before, and she thought of an animal. I'm not sure where she is. There's something in here I'd like to show you. I think you'll find this rather intriguing. Might be dead, but I'm not sure. Could she join me back on stage? Where is she? Could you join me back on stage, please? Do you mind coming back on stage? Please give her a big round of applause as she joins us. Big round of applause. Please keep it going for her as she comes up. I'd like to show you what's inside. I have it's slimy. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's actually, no, I'm kidding. Just building suspense with that. But you see, I always keep a jar with a scroll of paper inside, and I keep it on the side at all times. If you could just take that out for me, thank you very much indeed for that. Don't open it just yet. And as I leave it in the glass jar, I always have a scroll, as I said, and I always write on this scroll how I think this keynote is going to go. So if you could just stand over here for me, if you don't mind, thank you. Thank you so much for that, Ruth. And just here, hold that end for me. The first thing I always write down is who's going to think of the number 7 and the number 3. And thank you very much. And I thought to myself, well, what would that person look like? So I wrote down a few things about you. First thing I wrote was medium, brown hair. But it has streaks of blonde, so not exactly right, not very impressive. You seem very unimpressed. So I wrote a few other things as well. I wrote that you would have black shoes. Again, statistically correct. Most people wear black shoes to conferences, but also, one more little thing, red top. Now, the next thing was, I asked you to think of any animal you wanted. And what animal did you think of? Whale. And everyone laughed at me. So I drew it just to make sure. So clearly, yeah, no, thank you. Clearly a whale. Could you confirm for everyone? That's clearly a, thank you. The Australian whales look different. So that's clearly a whale. I knew you would laugh again, so I had to just be sure my drawing skills didn't let me down. I wrote, I'm a whale. Thank you very much indeed, thank you. Thank you, hang on to this, there's a bit more, thank you. Brilliant, just hang on to this, thank you, Ruth. So. You see, now here's the thing, the most impossible thing is not to innovate. The most impossible thing is not you achieving all the dreams you desire. It is not. It's highly probable for you to do these things. You just have to be able to bear failure at least 50 to 100 times. It's been done. If you're willing to do this, you will find a way to do things differently. The most impossible thing, statistically speaking, that I can find on this earth is winning the lottery. In Australia, 7 numbers you have to get to win the jackpot. That is 1 out of 45,360,147. Those 7 numbers there are today's lottery. If you don't mind reading the lowest numerical number there, I've also written down 7 numbers. 5, ladies and gentlemen, here's the first one. 5. It's only 1, don't panic. Thank you. Next one, please, if you don't mind, Ruth. Thank you. 8. I gave you a chance to change your mind. I asked you, change your mind, go for it, do it. And only one of you did, but it wasn't 8. You stuck, and 8. 11. And you, thank you so much for that. That was the perfect one you changed to, so thank you. Next one. 14. Just building the suspense again. So it's important. 14, thank you. 22. Again, I told you, the follower, don't change. Oh, but you didn't change your mind. Thank goodness you didn't. Next. 27, my friends. Now you've won $38.50. It's rather exciting at this point. Yes, next one. 44. Where's the person who thought of 44? Please stand. Where are you? Thank you very much indeed for this. Like a crescendo at the end of an orchestra, could you name the number in the loudest voice you possibly can? The last number, 1 out of 45 million, is... Sorry, it's Australian accent, it's horrible. So, like a crescendo, I'm going to get you to name your number that you chose in a very loud voice so we can make this very dramatic. So the last number for 1 out of 45 million is... 44, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, 44. Big round of applause. Oh, sorry, please stay standing. Wait, sorry. No, I get this. Were you thinking of the number 43 before 44? No, not even to save the show. Thank you for that, it's very kind. No, but I'm so glad you stuck with that decision, because if you didn't, this next part probably wouldn't really make sense, would it? Because if you add the 1, of course it equals 44. Big round of applause. Thank you so much for that, Ruth. Thank you, you're amazing. Thank you so much indeed for that. Brilliant, good. Thank you. I'll leave you with one last quote from Steve Jobs, my friends. Please remember, perspective, influence, and beliefs. And I'll leave you with a quote from Steve Jobs. Everyone's aware of Steve Jobs, obviously. Best company in the world. I give them money every 6 months, and they They give him an iPad in return. It's fantastic. Lovely. You see, Steve had this beautiful metaphor, or this beautiful quote that he'd always say. It's inspired me for more than 15 years of my life. And he would always say this: those people in the world who are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world, they are the people who actually do. Those of you in this room who are crazy enough to believe that you can change the world and achieve all the dreams you desire, you are crazy enough to believe this, then you are the people who will. Good luck, my friends. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to complete your session evaluation.